Our next story is for the American consumer. You're in for pain. Prices will go up. Whatever you plan to buy, a pack of avocados, a can of beer, a new car, your bill will be higher than before thanks to your president and his tariffs. Well, his logic is simple and skewed. He wants to cut the reliance on foreign goods, to bring jobs back to America and to make it great again.
April 2nd, 2025 will forever be remembered as the day American industry was reborn, the day America's destiny was reclaimed, and the day that we began to make America wealthy.
So tariffs have a patriotic packaging, and like most packaged stuff, there's more gas than substance. Because tariffs will make imported goods costlier, and that extra money will come from American wallets. This is how it works. Say an American company buys beer from Mexico or car parts from Canada. Now they have tariffs. So this company will have to pay extra, and the company will not eat the cost. It will pass it on to the consumers, and things will get expensive. In fact, we have a list of what will be the worst hit. The first is houses. Housing is the biggest purchase for most American households. 94% of American houses are made of lumber. And the US imports 1/3 of its lumber from Canada. Now, with tariffs in place, lumber prices will go up, and by extension, prices of houses will go up too. Second is cars. Trump has announced 25% auto tariffs on cars and car parts, and this came into effect today. Trump believes it will revive the US auto industry.
But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe.
But will it really? Will it help the US auto industry? Cars are the second largest purchase for most Americans. In 2024, the US imported around 8 million cars. That is around $240 billion in trade. It makes for nearly half of the sales. Most of these car makers rely heavily on international supply chains, mostly in North America. They produce vehicles in Mexico and Canada. Car parts are also manufactured there. So these new tariffs will affect all of it. We are talking about goods worth $460 billion. So car prices will certainly go up in the US, anywhere between $4,000 to $10,000 per vehicle. That is what economists estimate. Then we have fuel prices. America imports crude oil. More than 60% of it is from Canada. It is the largest foreign supplier of crude oil to the US. So tariffs could push up fuel prices too. The fourth product that will get expensive is alcohol. If you're a fan of Modelo or Corona, brace yourself. Mexican beer will cost more because of the new tariffs on beer and the aluminum cans that they come in. Same for bourbon, tequila, and Canadian whiskey. Long story short, your weekend drinks will burn a hole in your pocket. The fifth on this list is daily groceries like avocado and maple syrup. Nearly 90% of US avocados come from Mexico, 90%. So your guacamole will get pricier. There's also maple syrup. Canada accounts for 75% of its global production. So if you want to save money, pancakes without syrup is your new normal. Now, Trump believes that these tariffs will boost American companies. They will produce everything domestically and people will buy that stuff. Great idea on paper. But here's the problem. US manufacturers are not ready to meet the demand. It takes years to build supply chains from scratch. Until then, consumers pay the price. And this is just the beginning. Tariffs don't just stop at the grocery store or the gas pump. They ripple through the entire economy. Jobs get cut, businesses slow down, exports struggle. As prices climb, wages often do not keep up. All of this means inflation will rise, and that has raised fears of a recession.
We should be very concerned. The last time trade war on this scale has happened was in 1930s. Exactly in 1930, it was Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, and it led to a global recession worldwide. And if this trade war escalates, we could see a slowdown of the global economy on the scale of a global financial crisis of 2014 and possibly deeper. And this is the largest threat which would affect the whole world.
Yesterday, we told you about Goldman Sachs. It raised the possibility of a US recession to 35%. And now Barclays has flagged it too. It says there's a high risk that the US will enter recession. It is even driving bets on prediction markets. More than 50% are betting on the fact that America will slip into a recession. So the question is this short-term pain for long-term gain, or is it just pain all the way? Will it bring jobs back to the US, or will America end up paying the price literally? We'll be tracking this for you.
Greeting you with aloha and namaste.
No, I love India.
Presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India, what we saw in Kashmir.
How do you see Trump's America?
Yes, the current administration behaves differently from the previous administration.
Are you saying that there are foreign powers who are trying to bring down the current government in Syria?
Exactly.
Bluntly, Iran, maybe Russia too.
Prime Minister Modi committed to South-South, cooperation.
Not over 50%.
Is Ukraine prepared to pay the price for that peace?
No compromises at the cost of territorial integrity and sovereignty.